The judge was about to give the verdict when the courtroom doors opened. A man in a black suit walked in, looked straight at my sister, and said my father's name. That's when everything changed. I never thought my father's death would turn into a public trial. Not because of grief, but because of my sister. She was sitting across the courtroom, perfectly dressed, diamond earrings catching the light, her lawyer whispering confidently in her ear. She didn't look like someone who had lost a father. She looked like someone who had come to collect money. And I looked like someone she expected to crush. I didn't know it yet, but she had already planned this years ago. My name is Ayan. I was the younger child, the quiet one, the one who stayed back when my sister Rida left home at 18 and married into wealth. Her husband owned businesses, cars worth more than my yearly salary, a life I never asked for. I stayed with my father. I fed him his medicines. I took him to hospitals. I watched him slowly forget names, except mine. And when he died, I thought the hardest part was over. I was wrong. The court case. 2 weeks after the funeral, I received a legal notice. Inheritance dispute. My hands were shaking when I read it. Rida was demanding everything. The house, the land, the savings, even the old watch my father wore every day. Her reason? I am the eldest child. He favored my brother emotionally, not legally. That line burned. She didn't mention the nights I slept on the hospital floor. Inside the courtroom, the judge adjusted his glasses. Let the plaintiff speak. Rida stood up. Her voice was calm, controlled, practiced. My father was manipulated in his final years. My brother isolated him. I believe the will was influenced. Influenced. That word echoed in my head. The will. 3 months before his death, my father had called me into his room. He handed me an envelope. Beta, when I'm gone, don't fight. Just tell the truth. I didn't open the envelope then. I wish I had. Because what was written inside could have ended this case instantly. The judge turned to me. Do you have legal representation? I shook my head. No, Your Honor. Rida smirked. She had 3 lawyers. The accusation. Her lawyer stood. We request the court to dismiss any handwritten will. Our investigation suggests forgery. Forgery. My chest tightened. I wanted to scream. Then the judge asked one question that froze everyone. Is there anyone else connected to the deceased who has not been disclosed? Silence. Rida glanced at me. I shook my head slowly. No, Your Honor, I meant it. But fate didn't care what I knew. The doors opened. Just as the judge lifted his pen, the courtroom doors opened. Everyone turned. A man walked in. Black suit. Silver hair. Calm eyes. He didn't look lost. He looked like he belonged there. When he spoke, my sister's face turned white. Apologies for the interruption, the man said. My name is Mr. Khalid Rehman. I represent the late Mr. Imran Khan. My father's name. The judge frowned. And where were you until now? Mr. Rehman looked straight at Rida. I was instructed to appear only if this matter went to court. Shockwaves. Rida stood up instantly. That's impossible. My father had no lawyer. Mr. Rehman smiled, gently. He had one for 14 years. That's when I realized my father had been protecting something. The judge leaned forward. What exactly do you represent, Mr. Rehman? Mr. Rehman reached into his briefcase and pulled out a sealed envelope. The final will, registered, verified, and a supplementary document. My heart was pounding. I had never seen that envelope before. What was inside that envelope didn't just decide inheritance, it exposed a family lie that had lasted decades. The courtroom felt smaller all of a sudden, as if the walls had leaned in to listen. Everyone's eyes were locked on the sealed envelope in Mr. Khalid Rehman's hand. My sister Rida wasn't smiling anymore. Her fingers were clenched so tightly around her purse that her knuckles had turned white. That envelope carried a truth my sister had spent years burying. The judge cleared his throat. Mr. Rehman, before we proceed, why was this will not presented earlier? Mr. Rehman nodded calmly. Because the late Mr. Imran Khan requested it remain sealed. Unless his children disputed his estate in court. A murmur spread across the courtroom. Rida shot to her feet. That makes no sense. My father trusted me. Mr. Rehman didn't look at her. He looked at me. Your father trusted truth. Then he said something that made my stomach drop. Before I open this envelope, the judge said, I need to ask a crucial question. He looked directly at Rida. Did you have any private agreement with your father regarding inheritance? Rida hesitated. Just for a second. But that second was enough. No, she said quickly. None at all. Mr. Rehman adjusted his glasses. Your Honor, that is incorrect. The first crack. Rida spun toward him. How dare you? Mr. Rehman raised a hand politely. I have documented evidence of monthly transfers made to Miss Rida's personal account. For over 7 years. The courtroom gasped. I felt dizzy. 7 years? That money was never meant for her. Rida's lawyer jumped in. Objection. Relevance? The judge held up his hand. Overruled. Explain yourself, Mr. Rehman. Mr. Rehman turned a page from his file. These payments were not gifts. They were advance settlements. Advance inheritance. My sister's face drained of color. Her sudden wealth. Everything started to make sense. The luxury car she bought without explanation. The apartment upgrade. The sudden confidence. All funded by my father. While I was borrowing money for hospital bills. And that wasn't even the worst part. Mr. Rehman continued. Your Honor, the late Mr. Imran Khan feared exactly this situation. That is why he created conditions. The judge leaned forward. Conditions for what? For inheritance eligibility. Rida laughed nervously. This is ridiculous. Mr. Rehman finally looked at her. Is it? The condition. He opened a second folder. To inherit the remaining estate, both children were required to fulfill one condition. My heart was pounding. What condition? The judge asked. Mr. Rehman said it slowly. They had to be legally recognized children of the deceased. The room went silent. I felt like the air had been sucked out. That sentence changed how I saw my entire life. Rida scoffed. Of course we are. What kind of sick game is this? Mr. Rehman didn't argue. He reached into his briefcase again and pulled out 2 sealed lab reports. Nah. My hands started shaking. I hadn't known. I hadn't suspected. But my father had. One of those reports didn't have my name on it. The judge frowned. These reports were conducted when? 10 years ago, Mr. Rehman replied. Privately. At the request of the deceased, Rida's voice cracked. You're lying. Mr. Rehman placed the reports on the judge's desk. No, Miss Rida. Your father paid for silence. Not lies. The judge's decision. The judge removed his glasses. This court will recess for 10 minutes. He looked at Rida. You will remain seated. She looked like she might collapse. She whispered something to me that still haunts me. As the courtroom cleared, Rida leaned toward me. Her voice was shaking. You don't understand. If this comes out, I lose everything. I swallowed. Why? She looked at the floor. Because I was never supposed to be his. When the court resumed, the man in the black suit revealed who my sister really was and why my father chose me. The courtroom filled again, but nothing felt the same. Rida sat frozen, staring at the judge's desk like it was about to sentence her soul, not just her case. I couldn't stop thinking about her words. I was never supposed to be his. When the judge asked for the Dina report, my hands started shaking. The judge returned, his face serious. This court is back in session. He looked at Mr. Khalid Rehman. You may proceed. Mr. Rehman nodded and picked up the first Dina report. This report, he said, belongs to Ayan, that was me. The truth about me. He handed it to the judge. Result. 99.9% biological match with the late Mr. Imran Khan. I felt something break inside me. Not pain, relief. For the first time in my life I felt chosen. But the second report changed everything. Mr. Rahman then picked up the second envelope. This report belongs to Miss Rida. Rida stood up suddenly. Stop. Her voice echoed. You don't need to read it. I'll withdraw the case. The courtroom buzzed. The judge looked at her sharply. It's too late for that, the Dina revealed. Mr. Rahman opened the envelope. Result, 0% biological relation to the late Mr. Imran Khan, silence. The kind that hurts your ears. Rida collapsed back into her chair. Then, Mr. Rahman revealed the secret my father took to his grave. Miss Rida, Mr. Rahman said, was adopted. The word hit like thunder. Adopted. The real story. My father's lawyer turned to the judge. Your Honor, 14 years ago, Mr. Imran Khan discovered that his wife had an affair. The courtroom gasped. I felt sick. Rida was born from that relationship. Rida started crying. My father had raised her anyway, loved her, protected her. But he made one promise to himself. He promised, Mr. Rahman continued, that he would never abandon her. But he would also never allow her to destroy the son who stood by him. That son was me. Why the money was sent? The judge asked, what about the 7 years of payments? Mr. Rahman replied, that was Mr. Imran's way of ensuring Rida was financially secure, without touching the inheritance meant for Ayan. Rida sobbed openly now. He still took care of me, she whispered. Yes, Mr. Rahman said. But you wanted more. Then the judge delivered the final blow. The judge stood. Based on the evidence presented, he looked directly at Rida. This court rules that Ayan Khan is the sole legal heir to the estate. My knees nearly gave out. The plaintiff, the judge continued, is dismissed. All claims are denied. The gavel came down. Bang. After the verdict. Outside the courtroom, Rida stopped me. Her makeup was ruined. Her confidence gone. I never meant to hurt you, she said quietly. I looked at her. You didn't lose because you were adopted, I said. You lost because you chose greed over truth? She nodded. And walked away alone. That night, I opened the last letter my father left me. Father's letter in Janaka. Beta. Blood makes you related. Loyalty makes you family. You stayed when it was hard. That is why I chose you. I cried for the first time since his funeral. Inheritance didn't make me rich. Truth did. And sometimes, the man in the black suit doesn't come to take something away. He comes to give you back who you really are.